And we are live. What's going on, good people of YouTube? It is me, Chavez, back with another Player Prop Talk live stream here on the channel. As always, I hope this finds you all doing well and in good spirits. Happy Saturday, happy weekend. Hope everybody's feeling good today. June 8th, 2024. First week of the new month coming to an end. Let's go. Let's talk some player props today. Fun stuff. Always fun. Per usual, we always start off with hashtag blessed. Waking up is not a guarantee. Over 10% of the US population does not get to do that. So those folks die in their sleep or get murdered or fall down the stairs or something. I don't know. They're not here. So you are hashtag blessed. That's pretty much it. Simple as that. I know sometimes playing player props may not feel like you're blessed if you get chalk slips that sell. But believe me, there are way worse things in the world to be stressed out about than whether or not Cody Bellinger goes over PRA. That's for sure. What's going on, Big T? Need a good 6 if we can find some value. Gonna try to find some value. Tons of value on underdog this morning. Tons and tons and tons of value. I was able to create quite a few slips on underdog this morning. PrizePicks not so much. BETR, finding it a little hard on BETR to find those plays, but underdog is where it's at. That's how it is. Usually, you know, not every pick'em site is going to offer you all the same value, so just got to play where that value is. Certain days are really heavy towards one pick'em site, but today looks like an underdog morning. At least underdog morning. I don't know about the afternoon, evening value. We'll see. We shall see. We move on. Attitude is all so important today. Choosing the right attitude. We always talk about this. I've been talking about this for a while now, but going throughout your day, just letting things dictate you, how you feel, your outlook, kind of manipulating your view. Yeah, it's important to set the attitude, your attitude, first thing in the morning. Don't let anybody or anything else do that for you. So easy to get sidetracked, especially with player props. You know, you're having a bad day. Why? Because your slip didn't hit. That's a shitty way. That's a shitty reason to have a bad day. It's really not that big a deal, to be honest with you. But if you set that attitude, what that feels like in the morning, it's like, all right, cool. Bounce back tomorrow. Really, it's a huge difference when you're intentional about it. Today, my attitude is let's fucking go, because I'm feeling good. And I thought this gif of Denzel watching Hoyt beat up some homeless bums in an alley was appropriate. Just that walk, that swagger, that smile, just that confidence he's walking with. That's how I feel today. Started off the month of June feeling not like this. 3 consecutive losses in a row in terms of, you know, the days just not looking good. And then all of a sudden, boom. I should have put the boom gif up here, but all of a sudden it turns around and nothing's different. You just stick to your process, stick to your research. That's it. 3 consecutive days of winning, 2 days in a row of finishing in the top 5 on PIKKIT. All that's been posted in the Discord. So feeling good. Let's fucking go. Hope you're feeling good too. Hope you have reasons to feel good. If not anything else, you woke up today. Go make your bed. Making your bed usually helps me feel good. What also helps me feel good is playing on BETR, because BETR is becoming one of my favorite pick'em sites. First time deposit match up to 250. Just a real clean. I wish, well, I can't wait till they create a desktop app. I'd love to pull up that dashboard during live stream, break some plays down. But for now, it is mobile. It's still pretty clean mobile sites. And I've been playing the shit out of my better bucks. I'll tell you that right now. A lot of promos. They do a lot of free plays, I guess. You know, if your play doesn't hit, you know, they refund your money in their currency, which is better bucks. I mean, then you just take the better bucks and turn it into real money. They have great bonuses, like matches in terms of if you play a slip and the winning, you know, the winnings are up to $100, they'll add an additional 50% of those winnings to your account and stuff like that, which is really cool. And then you just turn that into real money. I've been playing the shit out of my better bucks, so it's been fun over there. Also running the Kyrie Irving promo throughout the entire NBA Finals. So this one's a no-brainer. It's a lock. You don't have to break this down. We don't have to research anything. Kyrie Irving just literally needs to score 1 point and he's over. You don't have to worry about chalk. You don't have to worry about anything else going on with that play because it's just a slam dunk. 0.5 for Kyrie Irving. I know Underdog also has a 0.5 Kyrie Irving promo that if you want to take advantage of, you can. You could probably end up playing the same slip on both sites depending on the value. If you're that confident in that second pick that you're pairing up with the Kyrie Irving, just play it on multiple pick'em sites. Just take the stress and take the worry out of it and just you know, just stick to the plays that you want to play, that you feel confident about. All right. Let's go on. Let's move on. Happy Saturday again, everybody. If you're just joining the stream, hit the like button on your way in. We're going to get to some player props here in just a few minutes. I do want to talk a little bit about the day yesterday in the Discord. What's up, T? Again, what's up, JR? Wave Lord, what's up? Six Char, good morning. Let's do this. Let's do this. Yeah, so Discord, I mentioned right before this in terms of my attitude was, I feel like Denzel Washington walking down the alley, popping his collar, feeling good. I mentioned the month of June got off to a rough start. You know, 3 consecutive losing days didn't really make me feel all that good, to be honest with you. But bounce back, man. Bounce back. So you can see 4 consecutive losing days followed up with 3 consecutive wins, and 2 of those days finishing in the top 5 on PIKKIT. You know, the win-loss record doesn't always look good. I stopped worrying about the win-loss record and started focusing more on ROI and my money. You know, it's very easy to have a losing win, you know, having, you know, a losing record going 5-6 or 4-5, but you're up $150, $200. That's pretty common. So stop focusing on the actual record. Who gives a shit? And just trying to make profit. And that's been the turnaround. So been a better end to the week than it was start of the week and the month. So I'm feeling good because I didn't really allow this to change anything. It does suck coming back 2 days, 3 days in a row and trying to like trying to move forward and not get too pissed off. But there's better stuff on the other side if you allow yourself to just move past it instead of forcing yourself to live in the loss. Like, just get over the shit. So yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. And the reason I bring this up is, you know, what's causing this is the picks and the slips that I post in the Discord. So no, not every slip is going to hit, and no, not every pick is going to hit, but enough of them are hitting to create profit. That's the bottom line. So I share this because this is what's being shared in the Discord. Just the process is simple. It's not always easy to follow, but it's simple. So long-term profitability, I'm looking for another winning month. and we're off to a better start. We're off to a better start. We're off to a good start, I guess, over the last 3 days compared to the first 4. So yeah, let's do this. We're going to transition into some player props today. We're talking PrizePicks, underdog. We're talking sleeper, better. We don't really get too many sleeper picks or anything on the channel. Yeah, wherever you guys play, doesn't matter to me. PrizePicks, underdog, jock market, better, sleeper. We're talking player props today. Saturday, June 8th, 2024. As always, all of our player prop research is conducted using resources, and the tools on props.cash. Thanks 25 is my promo code. Use it and save 25% off your first month on props.cash. Very easy. If you've never seen props.cash before, we use it every day on the stream, so stick around. We're going to get to it. We do use the PrizePicks dashboard to kind of navigate all of our picks, but we can look up any player prop you want using props.cash. So without further delay, let's transition over to the PrizePicks dashboard and let's get this going. What's up, Jesus? Vu, what is going on to you? What y'all think about Angel Reese under 9.5 rebounds? I guess what the first thing we should do is, I guess, just take a quick look at the slip that we built out on the stream. It was towards the end of the stream. It was a little last minute on that stream. However, it didn't fare too well. Didn't have the best of days on PrizePicks yesterday. The winnings came from underdog, and I had one better slip that was one pick away from going for 250. Instead, I walked away with $62.50, something like that. So yeah, it wasn't the best day on PrizePicks for me. But let's take a look at that slip. I don't mind showing you past lineups that didn't hit. I had a protected play. I told you yesterday the protected play, I was just going to throw some demons in there. I thought these had a good chance to hit. I did take the over on Yordan Alvarez's fantasy score. He had a monster game. He just didn't do it with a home run. Christopher Morel continues to be a thorn in my side. I can never get this dude right. Yeah, this whole slip fucking sucked, but it didn't matter because it was a protected play. So I was willing to take a chance on some of these plays. I got the $5 back. I'm going to use it today. Try to turn that $5 into at least 50 today. So here's our, no, this wasn't, was this yesterday? No, so this is a different play that I ran. For a while, all this was green. It looked good. I was like, holy shit, it's about to hit. And it just didn't hit. Here's the play that here's a slip that we, here's a slip that I built out towards the end of the stream. So our two esports plays, we walked away with a push, and then this dude had a monster game. This projection was way off. He was projected to go under this by about 2, and he went over by almost 10. So sometimes these esports plays are really just, there's still just not a good read on them. Sometimes they're dead on, sometimes they're way off. That's just the nature of it. Cameron Brink actually had a fantastic game. 35 fantasy points on a line of 26. So that one didn't come close. The Ongabawule assist, she hooks it at 4. That was a little disappointing. Chris Sale goes out there and strikes out 10. Probably going to just keep away from that guy. I mentioned he's looking like vintage Chris Sale, and his strikeout props aren't reflecting that. So I'm probably just going to stay away from him moving forward. And then Cody Bellinger didn't do anything. So just a pretty all-around shitty slip, to be honest with you. It happens. It happens. I'm not going to stress out about it. This one was very close. This one was very close to hitting for a 10x. But again, this esports play hooked it. If he goes over with 4, we cash that. and it ends up being a better day on PrizePicks. But yeah, the slip that we built out yesterday didn't really bring in any profit, unfortunately. Just some chalk. But who gives a fuck? Let's move on. Let's fucking go. Let's go. I'm gonna cuss a little bit more on Saturday stream. If you have like kids watching this, I think that's kind of cool, but I'm really not interested in keeping it PG. So just throwing that out there. I don't think anybody has their kids watching me. But don't be blaming me. Don't be blaming me if they start dropping F-bombs. If you're just joining the stream, hit that like button on your way in. We real quick, if you're just joining the stream, we did talk about attitude, how important that is. Obviously, it's important, but especially in player props, it's very important to have a clean attitude every day and not bring in the previous day's bullshit to the new day. So choosing your attitude wisely is important. Today, my attitude is this. This is how I feel today. This is how I want to walk today. I'm so close to going out and just finding me a piece and chain like that so I can walk around, pop in my collar like Denzel. And I don't have 2 Glocks to put in my holster, but that's how I feel today. Let's fucking go. Let's go. Going back to PrizePicks. We got WNBA, we got MLB, we can talk esports, we can talk PGA, we can talk Game 2 NBA Finals, whatever y'all want to talk about. Let's go. Quite a few plays already being asked about in the chat, so let's see if we can put some on the board and build out something. Vladdy over hits, runs, RBIs, and Spencer Steer. Is that what you're asking for, Wavelord? Vladdy over hit, run, RBI, and Steer. So both of those guys over hits, runs, and RBIs. There we go. Come on, PrizePicks. Come on, PrizePicks. Come on. Come on. There you go. There you go. All right. Let's see. Why am I doing this? Why am I scrolling down? Let's just name search. How about that? So you got, I'm assuming this is Vladimir Guerrero, not Vladimir Klitschko. And then Spencer Steer. All right, we'll put these up on the board. What do I have open right now that's really causing a delay? And let me close out the Discord real quick, because I think that shit's taking too much memory. All right. Jesus Sanchez hits, runs, RBIs. Thomas under assists. Is that Lissa Thomas? Which Thomas? I'm assuming it's Alyssa Thomas. Jesus says Angel. Okay, Angel Reese under rebounds. Just asking about it. You know, I don't think like you're bullish on the under, but you're just asking about it. Her rebounds continue to go up. Like her rebound line continues to increase because she's, you know, rebounding at a pretty good rate. So based off her 5 games, this is a very, very, very conservative line. Doesn't mean that it's too low. It just really hasn't caught up to her level of production. You'd have to be very careful if you know, she's over here rebounding at 10, 11 rebounds per game, and all of a sudden PrizePicks just jacks it up to 10.5. No one's taking the over on that shit. That's Asia Wilson shit. That's Alyssa Thomas, you know? So that's why you can continue to play the overs on plays for a while, because these pick'em sites do have to keep it pretty gradual in how they increase these lines. But if you're looking at the under on this, you think it's a little too high, we can take a look at it either way. Jesus says Tatum hasn't gone over rebounds prop in all of this past postseason games of the second game. Oh, I see what you're saying. So you're saying game twos, he hasn't gone over rebound prop in every game two in the playoffs. So that's what? Miami, Cleveland, Indy. So 3 straight game twos he hasn't gone over. We'll have to look into that. We'll have to look into that and see if there's a trend going and like what's actually keeping that from happening. All right. It's also a star, so that's going to give us a nice little boost if you put this into a slip. I like how PrizePicks is already adding the pay increase and letting you see what it is. I think this is a very, very smart update. Very nice. I like that a lot. I don't know if y'all guys caught it. Also, the 0.5 promo on Jason Tatum, his original line was a star. So you got an added increase for him going over 1 point in game 1. You got the 10% on top of that if your whole slip hit. So, I mean, that's a pretty easy way to make 10 extra percent right there. All right, let's see who else. Eduardo Mara over 2.5 takedowns. She averages 5+. Yeah, game twos. All right. Why is Harrison Bader's ass on there? You saw me type in Spencer Steer, right? I typed in Steer. I typed in Steer and it brought up, I clicked on Bader, but I am under the like mindset that when I type a person's name in, that's the person that shows up. So I just clicked. I guess my expectations are a little too high today. So Spencer Steer over. Tatum looking at his game twos. We'll take a look at Reese. Same number. Vlad over as well. And then who was it? Thomas. We'll put 5 on this board and then we'll head over to props.cash and then we will look and try to break some stuff down and see if we can build out some slips or see if we can at least make a case for some of these slips. Alyssa Thomas under 8 rebounds. All right. So here we go. Let's do it. We're going to head over to props.cash. Props.cash is the blogs are up. Well, at least the MLB blog is up. I have not read it, but as I always say, it's a good start to your research if you just need a place to just a starting point. All right, let's Jason Tatum's our only NBA play on this board. So let's take a look at his rebounds. Initially, when I read that comment from Jesus, I thought he said that Jason Tatum has yet to hit his rebound prop in the playoffs. I was like, you might want to refresh your screen because his ass is going over in most of these games, but we're talking about game twos. So let's take a look at this. Now, I don't know how far back we can go. We can pretty much go back the entire playoffs. So let's take a look at this. So here we go. Playoffs. Here we go. How many playoff games have they played? Less than 15, right? Miami was 5. Cleveland was 6, 5, 10, 14, 15 games. All right, so here we go. Yeah, here we go. Game 1, game 2, game 3, game 4, game 5. Game 1, game 2, game 3, game 4, game 5, game 1, game 2. Game 3, game 4, sweep. Game 1, boom. So what is going on with Jason Tatum in these second games? So let's look at his points. So look at this shit. Okay, so maybe we found the correlation here. I don't know. But right off the bat, that first game in Miami, 23 points. And his rebounds were up. Second game, points go way up, but his rebounds go down. Then we got Cleveland, right? First game, his points are okay, 25. Second game, they blow up and his rebounds go down. Here we go, Indiana. So kind of the opposite. In the first game, he goes all out. I mean, 36 points in the first game, and his rebounds were up in that game. But the second game, we saw just a really big drop off in everything, right? Points 23, and then his rebounds were under 10. And then the Dallas game, 11 boards, 15 points. I think he had 16 points. So it felt like going up to the Indiana series that Jason Tatum's points were up in game 2, but his rebounds were down. I don't know what the correlation is, because typically one doesn't replace the other. He did show it in the Indiana game. He's capable of grabbing boards and scoring points in game 1, right? 36 points, 12 boards, but that game 2, yeah, there's something going on with game 2s. I don't know how many games we need to have as a sample size in order for something to be a trend and not a fad, but this is pretty much every game 2. And his rebounds are at 9.5. He is projected. He doesn't even have a projection today. I don't know why. But the odds are in favor of the under. I don't have enough data here to make a strong case based off the math. But if you want to put this in a slip and just say, fuck it, man, like, this is what I'm seeing. Like, I can't prove it by math, but I can show you what it looks like. And I think this is a fine play to take an under on. I would throw it in a flex. I wouldn't risk it on a power play because there's just not enough information for me to be sold on power play, where if you lose one, you don't get anything. But in a flex, I'd be willing to throw this in a slip, in a 5-man or a 6 for sure. And I'd be willing to play it on different pick'em sites. If you can find his rebounds at 9.5 or even 10, yeah. Yeah, I can't make any sense out of it because I don't know what's going on in game 2. It just shows, hey, points go up, rebounds go down in 2 straight series. And then Indiana, they both go up. And now what's going to happen in Dallas? I don't know. So yeah, it's like a Scooby-Doo mystery. All right, let's head over to the WNBA. Let's take a look at Angel Reese's rebounds and Alyssa Thomas assist. Alyssa Thomas assist sitting at 8.5. She's coming off a pretty kind of a slow block of games here. Her last 5 games, she's only gone over in 2 games. She's averaging 9 assists, but that's really because of this. You know, like if these assists were like 10 or 11, this average comes down. I mean, let's say she gets you 11, that's 22, that's 30, that's 43. 43 divided by 5 is a little over 8, like 8.7 or something like that. So that 14 assist game really improves her average, but she's not doing that every game. Do we have enough games to look at the last 10? No, it dips into last season. So 9 games to look at. She's gone over in 4. She's projected today for 9.1. She's projected today for 9.11. Ooh, is that an omen? You want to stay away from that one? She's projected today for 9.11. Damn, what's going on with that? Fuck that projection. Minus 120 to go under, 125 to go over, 120 to go over. Even on these books, Flip right now is giving you the highest odds to go over, but there's so much juice coming in on the under. I don't really like seeing that. I mean, I know the odds are over in all these books, but look at this, 105, 106. It's not bad. 106. That's not bad. 115. 115. There's another 115. 115. You know what that feels like? It feels I don't know, like somebody winning a fight, but they get the shit kicked out of them. Like they just get beat up, bloodied up, broken nose, broken orbital bone, broken teeth, but they win the fight, and it's like, but did you win? Like, did you win though? Because you got the shit kicked out of you, man. Yeah, you won, but damn. This feels like that kind of shit where it's like, yeah, it's an over, but like you're still getting beat up on the under a little bit. It's not like clear cut. So yeah, if you want to take the under on her assist, the odds don't really have a take. They're just kind of sitting there in the middle. Also, her numbers against the new, I almost called them the New York Islanders, the New York Liberty, are really strong. So last 6 games, she's really done her thing. So you do have that. I guess it just depends on, do you feel the history versus the Liberty outweighs the last 5 games that you're seeing for her? You know, this is recent. Here we're talking the last time they played was last season. So just something to think about. But odds are in favor of the over, I guess you want to call it that. These are weird odds. These are weird odds. Angel Reese rebounds 9.5. Now this one's getting heavy juice to the under. Maybe the books feel okay, it's hitting that line where this is a little high for her, despite what she's been doing in her last 5 games. ESPN Bet, Hard Rock. So like these are odds that are clean, right? You're getting high numbers to one side and very minimum juice, right? This is flat. This is flat. 104 is little juice. There's another flat. At 8.5, DraftKings likes the over. Caesars likes the over. Flip likes the over. These are important to look at because 140 is a good odd, but that tells you that she is projected to go over 8.5, but not 10. Right at 140, that's 9. That's 9 rebounds. That's a confident 9. And then when you look at 9.5, look at this. It flips to minus 130. This is telling you that she's not getting you 10. She's going to fall on 9. So I feel like 9 is what the projection is. She is projected for 9.27, so it's pretty close. You know, if you're going to get sucked into the last 5 games, it's going to be really hard to take the under on this one because there's a lot of green right there, right? But she hasn't done this in every game, so let's just keep that in mind. She's done it in 4 out of her last 9 games. Hooked it, not close. Washington, poor team. She did it against the Liberty though already. So I don't know. The odds say this is an under. The projections say this is an under. But we talk about this all the time. If you feel a player is just on a streak, you just want to take advantage of that, you can. The rebounding line is getting higher and higher there. So at some point, I won't be in favor anymore. But it's really hard to ignore that. It's really strong. All right, we got a few MLB plays to look at. Steer and Vladimir. All right, let's take a look at, what are we looking at? Hits, runs, and RBIs. bitch ass Bo Bichette, man. That guy cost me my slip yesterday. He went over total bases, and had he not gone over total bases, we'd have been looking at a nice hit on BETR. That was the play I was talking about on BETR, where I missed it by 1. It was Bo Bichette. This guy. All right, so Vlad, looking at the over 1.5 hits runs on RBI, hits runs and RBIs. I don't know what I just said. Projected to get 1.62. Got 2 books that like the over on this one, at least just 2 books that are showing on props.cash. So 2 data points. Numbers versus Luis Medina, pretty strong. I mean, if he goes out there and gets you 2 singles, that gets it done. This may have been all in one game. His plate appearances vary. I mean, they're in between 4 and 6, so it's possible that this line is from one game. It's very possible. Numbers against right-handed pitching, much better than the numbers against lefties. 5 homers, 10 doubles, 44 singles. Luis Medina versus right-handed bats. So far, I mean, this is almost not worth looking at just because the sample size is very small. 12 plate appearances and 9 plate appearances. He's only given up 2 hits on the year. That's, I mean, this guy's pitched like 2 games. So there's not a whole lot to look at here. But over the course of their careers, Springer and Guerrero have hit him the best. Springer and Guerrero both have below 20% strikeout rates. I mean, Guerrero has not struck out, meaning, yes, he's hit safely twice, but the other 3 hits, he's put it in play. So he's seeing the ball well against this dude. Any other 20% walk rate, that also takes away from your total bases, your hits, runs, and RBIs. You can still score a run if you get walked, but you are dependent on your teammate. But it doesn't count as a total base. It doesn't count as a hit. Springer is 17% strikeout rate and 17% walk rate. Those are about the only 2 guys in this lineup that have any exposure to Medina on the season. Righties versus righties, or batters versus righties. Guerrero's hitting them well. Next, in terms of batting average, Bo Bichette, and then Isaiah Kiner Falefa. Strikeout rates aren't bad. I mean, 28 is not good for Varsho, and then 32% for Karamir. But 13, 17, 16, 14, getting a lot of guys in there that aren't whiffing a lot. Walk rates are pretty strong too. 11%, 11%, 10, 10, 10. I mean, this might be a rough day for Medina. Willing to take a shot on Guerrero's HRR for sure. All right, Spencer Steer. Does he still play for the Reds? He does. All right. So 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Looking to take the over on this one. You got 2 books that are favoring the over, -125 on DraftKings and -120 on BetMGM. He is projected for 2.35 hits, runs, and RBIs. Coming off 2 games where he hasn't gotten it done, but he did have this nice stretch where total 18 hits, runs, and RBIs. 5, 11, 14, 18. That's a lot. Any homers? 1 homer, 5 RBIs, 4 runs scored, and then just hits. A lot of hits. So lots and lots of hits. Numbers against Ben Brown, just 1 game against them. 3 plate appearances. I'm sure that's just 1 game. A single. It's hard to make a case based off BVP because there's just not a sample size. So let's look at his numbers versus right-handed pitching. Batting .242 on the year, 19% strikeout rate, 11% walk rate. Let's break it down even further on the season. 25 singles, 7 doubles, 1 triple, and 4 homers. Is that consistent to last season? 64, 28, 214. Yeah. Ben Brown versus right-handed batters. Keeping that batting average low, giving up 10 singles, 2 doubles, 5 doubles, and 2 homers. It's going to give you at least 4 plate appearances today, so should be able to, you would think, get it done. Yeah, that one's fine. All right. Vlad over, Reese under. It is a little scary looking at the under on her rebounds because she's basically averaging 10 rebounds in her last 5 games. Tatum under. This is a weird trend. We can't really pinpoint it, but we just know game 2s are not in his game for rebounds. Cannot figure it out. There's a little correlation with points going up and rebounds going down, but I would take a shot on this one in a 5 or 6 man. Steer over, and then Thomas over. Although Thomas has played the Liberty really well in the last 6 games, she's been over her assist line in all 6 of those games. But in her last 5 games this season, only 2 out of 5. There you go. And if you put these 5 in a slip, it is an 11x because of that Tatum star. So you can use those to your advantage. They all have to hit, though. They all have to hit in order for you to get that extra 10%. Still very generous. All right, what else do we got? Appreciate y'all being here Saturday morning. Let's keep talking. They took Aaron Judge fantasy score from me. I made 1 bet, and PrizePicks said that's enough. He's been my anchor for the last week. Yeah, he's been on a roll. Yeah, the Mavs play really bad. I mean, to expect the team to play that bad again, it was a combination of the Celtics just hitting all their shots. I think Porzingis being back in the lineup makes things really difficult. But also the Mavs just play bad. So they definitely should play. They have to play better. They're a better team than that. Otherwise, they wouldn't be in the finals. So, yeah, it should be a better matchup. What's up, Gilbert? Anthony, what's up? Good morning. I don't play on Vivid. I actually haven't played on. I've never played on Vivid. How long have you been playing on? How long have you been playing there? I know what it is. I just haven't created an account. The only play, the Angel Reese under rebounds is on Vivid. That one looks good. We just talked about that for PrizePicks, but if you have access to Vivid, you can play it there. Let's see. Renee Howard under 16.5 points. All right, let's clear this out. Is there oh no. I don't know why they have this one at the very front of the selections. Thought maybe we had a promo. All right, so Renee Howard under 16.5. Oh, okay, you got the bonus. Nice. Go back to Bonner on her 3s. She did come through for us last game. Kyle Gibson over hits allowed. Yeah, Ungable Wildlight hooked on her assist yesterday. and Bellinger also. Both of them were in a good spot. I mean, we looked them up, we researched it, the odds were good. I mean, there's nothing bad about those players. They just didn't work. All right, let's look at Renee, Bonner, and then Gibson. Since we're already on the MLB tab, let's take a look at this. All right, Gibson hits allowed. Today, he has a line of 1.5. He has a projection of 5.44. So it's like right there at the line. This is fucking weird. Come on, dude. Man, this pisses me off. All right, we'll refresh it. I wonder if anybody uses props.cash more than I do. Maybe I'm just like burning a hole in this software. I mean, I'm paying for it, so I'm going to use it. There you go. All right, so we're looking at his hits allowed. Now, his odds at -129 on Caesars. You got BetMGM and Pinnacle that like the over. A little juice to the under, but there's a separation of 22, 23, 20. When you look at the difference, he's projected to give up 2.5 earned runs, so you could round that up to 3. And projected for 5 strikeouts. So based off those numbers, he's projected to put runners on and give up a few. Hits allowed. He's hooked it in 2 games, 3 games, and he's completely gone over this in 3 games. And he does have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games where he did not. So, well, hold on. Let me rephrase that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games he has not gone over, but very close in those 3. And then he just has 3 games where he got outright knocked around. Numbers against the Rockies, nothing this season, so we don't have anything to look at. The next best piece of information we can look at is BVP. In 8 plate appearances against Gibson, Blackman has 2 hits. Ryan McMahon has hit well, low strikeout rate there. And then 0 for 5 for Rogers. No hits there, no hits there. You got 1, 2, 3, 4 possible batters in this lineup who have never faced Gibson, so tend to give the upper hand to the pitcher in those games. Yeah, so Colorado is whiffing at a humongous rate, 26%. We talked about Lance Lynn yesterday. Lance Lynn goes over his line of 5.5, but does not go over 6. So we talked about that. So he pushed. We talked about him being trash, but he did push. So not an over, not an under. I don't know how many earned runs Lance Lynn gave up yesterday. Lance Lynn allowed 4 earned runs, 4 innings pitched, 6 strikeouts, 4 earned runs, and allowed 6 hits. Yeah, so even though the Rockies do strike out a lot, it's very possible for Gibson to get you 5 strikeouts and give up 6 hits, something like that. It's very rarely like all or nothing. It's very rarely 7 innings pitched, 7 strikeouts, 0 earned runs. Like those don't happen very often. I mean, what's happening in a lot of these games is strikeouts are there. He's giving up fair share of hits. Like against Boston and New York, he gave up 7 and 8. But he also only struck out 4 and 3. So maybe it is all or nothing for this guy. The outs have been pretty consistent. .697. .697. So gave up 7 hits, struck out 7 batters. Yeah. I don't know. It's always tricky with the Rockies because they're terrible. And if they happen to be playing at home, I mean, I just don't like targeting those games. But this one's in St. Louis, so not as hitter friendly. If his strikeouts drop to 5, I don't know why they would. But if they were bumped down to 5, I'd love to take the over on 5. At 5.5, he needs 6, and it's something he has done. But yeah, if this happens to be similar to what Lance Lynn did yesterday, again, Lance Lynn allowed 6 hits and 6 strikeouts. I mean, so projections have him at 2.55, but the odds are saying not going to give up more than 3 earned runs. So if he's not projected to give up a ton of production, it's still possible that you give up a lot of hits and not give up any earned runs, like just a bunch of singles and nobody's on base, so they're not really hurting anybody. But if the Rockies aren't projected to score runs against him, that's, less hits. So yeah, I don't know. Odds are not bad though, so I'm not really convinced on that one, to be honest. Again, I think his strikeouts are in play because we did see Lance Lynn get 6. So would you say Kyle Gibson is worse or better than Lance Lynn, or they're the same? Probably like the same, right? All right. Let's look up these 2 WNBA players. Renee Howard under points. And then Bonner over her threes. We'll take a look at that first. Bonner over threes at 1.5. She has gone over this in 4 of her last 5 games, 5 of her last 6, and 6 of her last 10. She's also 6 for 10 versus the New York Liberty. Last time she played the Liberty, she went off for 4. Here's 6 right there. 140 to go under. Man, that's opening up with that. Minus 140 to go under. Damn. 118 to go over on FanDuel. That's it. You got 2 books. Only 2 books that are giving you odds that are shaded. The rest of this is flat. So they're just coming in even. She's projected for 2 threes made. I don't know what her odds were here. I'm sure that in all these games where she went over, she wasn't favored to go over, or the odds were not in her favor. So seeing her projection over and her odds under, I don't think that's that big a deal. Sometimes players just play a team really well, and the job of the books is not to take sides and be biased and look into that kind of stuff. It's all mathematics. So their numbers say under, but again, we've seen players just play a team really well, and there's really no other explanation for it. outside of that, I mean, you just keep riding this wave until you fall off your board, because you're really not getting any other support for the over. So you're just basing this off of familiarity with the team. In her last 5 games also look pretty good. All right. Renee Howard under her 16.5 points. Now, this one was getting heavy juice to go over 15.5. It has been bumped up to 16, but at 16, you're still getting a little juice to the over, but look at the under. I mean, they're not that far apart. Hard Rock likes this a little bit more. These are better odds for the over. Caesars also likes the over. FanDuel giving you better odds. BetMGM giving you better odds. So, yeah, man. Surprisingly, all these books still like the over at 16.5. So, I mean, you maybe go try to find it at 15.5, because based off those numbers, they're projecting her for like 17 points. To go over 15.5 and still go over 16.5, it's like 17 points. Projected for 15.5, so that's 16. Her last 5 games have not been good. 2 out of her last 5. Her last 10 have been better. So it's showing you that the first 5 games, or the first 4 games of the season, 1, 2, 3, 4, have been strong. Then the next 5, not so much. Her head-to-head numbers versus the Chicago Sky. Chicago sucks too. So, wait, is it Chicago that sucks? I'm thinking of Washington and Indiana. Those are 2 of the worst teams in the WNBA. I don't know the record for Chicago, so I shouldn't be saying they suck. If you're a Chicago Sky fan, I apologize. Maybe they don't fucking suck. But her numbers against them have been good. So 3 straight games of going over. In fact, last game she doubled this up. You don't need her to double it up. You just need her to get you 16 or 17 at this line of 16.5. So let's show you what that looks like. So 3 out of her last 6 games, 50% against this team. Strong. It's really strong. That's not strong. Yeah, she didn't get it done against Washington. Vegas, she had a better game against Vegas. Yeah. It's hard. It's hard to make a case of this, because you're seeing the exact opposite. You're seeing, this looks terrible, but then this looks really good. Odds also, I'm really surprised when you see a line bump up a whole point. Typically, you see a shift in the odds, and all we're really seeing is there's been a shift, but not a whole 180. I mean, you're still getting favorites for the over, even with a 1-point bump. So the books really like her going over today. You got 2 different lines, and they still like it. Again, it's all mathematics. They're not looking at game logs or anything. They're just crunching numbers. So if you want to go under on Renee Howard based off her last 5, there's a case for that. If you just want to take a shot on her over because she plays Chicago really well, you can try that. Bonner over her 3s. I don't think the odds are scaring a lot of people off this. She just plays the Liberty really well. Gibson over hits. I think it's possible that we see him give up 6 hits and also strike out 6 batters, kind of like what Lance Lynn did yesterday. The Rockies, he's not projected to give up a lot of earned runs, so I don't know how that impacts the hits allowed. I feel like this is a little iffy, to be honest. You could look at the over on his, I wouldn't play that. You could look at the over on his normal strikeout prop. Or fantasy score at 32. I think he needs the quality start here. If he gets you 6 strikeouts and he's been going 6 innings in this game. So if he gets you 6 strikeouts and 6 innings, that's 36 points. If he were to allow 3 earned runs, that's 27 fantasy points. If he got the quality start, that's 31. If he gives up 3 earned runs, he definitely needs the win bonus. They have to outright win, and he needs to get the win. If he gives up just 2 earned runs or less, I think he goes way over this line. So that's also one you can consider. And the good thing about the PrizePicks scoring system is hits don't count towards your overall line. Walks don't count towards your overall line. So it's innings pitched, it's strikeouts, it's quality start bonus, and it's win bonus. Those are the 4 things you factor in terms of like adding up. And then your earned run is -3. So that's the only deduction you have, is when you give up an earned run. So maybe there's something there for his fantasy points, but you could just stay away from it altogether. Let's see. The leash he'll have throughout the game. Gibson's on a count. No, that doesn't make sense, because if he was on a limit, then you wouldn't be looking at the under on his hits. Who are you talking about? Because if he's going to be projected to pitch fewer innings, then that just limits his upside for over hits. Nah, it can't be Gibson. Gibson's pitching well into the 6th inning. Kevin Gossman over 6 strikeouts, and then Jordan finally came through for me. I can't tell you how many times I played this dude and just go over 4, over 5. Finally he goes over and Devers goes under. Every time I pick Devers for the under, this guy hits a home run. It's like, what are you supposed to do, man? So that worked out. If it wasn't for the esports push, that slip would have cashed 10x. All right. So who else was there? Gossman? Gossman over 6, Jordan over 1.5. I see what you're saying, Wavelord. Yeah, he's projected to stay in there longer, therefore possibility of him giving up more. That makes sense. Yeah. Okay. I got you. Now we're on the same page. What's up, Jonah Fomar? Fernando Tatis over fantasy score. Bregman over hits, runs, and RBIs. Vaughn over hits, runs, and RBIs. Man, yesterday, remember how I just randomly threw Bobby Witt in on the dashboard just to put a 6 play in there to show what the payout would be? And his fantasy score bumps. It got 20 fantasy points yesterday. 3 hits, 1 RBI, 1 triple, and 1 strikeout. So 2 singles, that's 6. A triple is 8, that's 14. Score 2 runs, that's crazy. That was just a rant. I didn't play him. I wish I would have played him. But that random just, let's throw Bobby Witt. Yeah, that would have been a good play if you played if you played anything for him. You went over everything. So Fernando Tatis over hitter fantasy score. Let's see. Bregman over hits, runs, and RBIs. Man, Astros got after it yesterday. It was looking like just a ho-hum game, and that shit opened up in the 7th inning. Bregman goes over with 3 hits, runs, and RBIs. Jordan has 7 hits, runs, RBIs. No Kyle Tucker in that lineup. All right, let's look up these 5, 4, 4. Let's put one more in there. And then I gotta go. All right, we're just gonna zoom through these. So Gossman, Tatis, Bregman, Ortiz, and Jordan. All right, so we're looking at over 6 strikeouts for Gossman. At 6.5, he's favored to go under on all these books, but at 6, it's a little bit of a different story. He has pushed in 3 out of his last 10 starts. He's gone over in 2, and he's gone completely under in 5. Nothing to look at for Oakland. He's projected 4, roughly 6. Oakland is Oakland is striking out a lot. So this is another one of those cases where the odds don't really support a high strikeout number, but the matchup does. Last handful of pitchers who have faced the A's, you had Bassett deliver 6, Brian Wu get you 6, Gilbert, Morton, and Chris Sale go under. And then you just see Reynaldo Lopez, Blanco, Feltner, Gomber. You're seeing names in here that aren't like Lugo. This shit's still crazy. I cannot believe he's still pitching at this level right now. You're seeing names in here that don't typically notch a ton of strikeouts, get a lot of strikeouts versus the A's. So you have that going for you. He is a 1K per inning guy. So if you take a look at his outs, he's projected 17, maybe 17 outs. 199 is that's a bad number. Plus 143 to go over this, but if he got you 17 outs, excuse me, 17 outs is 5 2/3 innings. So that's roughly, you could say 6 strikeouts in that time frame based off him being a 1K per inning guy. There are 2 games where he did go over into the 7th inning. Well, almost here, but got you 7 innings here. If he gets you 7 innings today, it's hard for me to see him not going over that. But you have more games of him going under 18.5 than over. So 18 might be a fair number to say that's where he'll get pulled. So he has to get this done. 7 strikeouts in 6 innings. That means he needs to strike out more than one batter in at least 1 inning. You can't just go 1 strikeout per inning. That's not going to get it done. You are getting it at a lower line because the other books, pick'em sites, or at least the books, have it at 6.5. Last 10 road games. he's averaging 6, and in last 10 home games, he's averaging 6. There is no difference. There's no difference in this. He's a 6 strikeout guy in these games. So there's a reason why his line is at 6. You're not really getting an advantage. You're just really hoping that the A's just whiff a lot. Not a lot going on, not a lot of sample size here, but against righties on the year, you have literally everyone in this lineup is in double digits. 20%, 34, 26, 32, 34, 40% strikeout rate, 24. I mean, the only batter in here that's not even close to 20% is JJ Bleday. And he's even at 18. That's like a low number for the A's. So there's plenty of strikeout upside for him to get it done. Yeah, if you're not going to play the over on this one, just stay away. I wouldn't risk playing the under. Not at 6. You're either playing the over on this one or you're just going to stay away. All right, let's look at Fernando Tatis fantasy score. Let's see if we can piece together a score for him that is over 8. So first of all, let's start with his numbers today versus Renee Nelson. Is it Renee or Ryan? Because there's Renee Howard, and that's almost spelled identically, minus the H. I've been calling him Ryan Nelson. Renee is not a 100% feminine name. I know guys named Renee. I'm going to call him Renee. Fuck it. Fernando Tatis versus Renee Nelson. 8 plate appearances, 375 batting average, 2 singles, 1 double. So just 3 hits. This looks like 2 games, 8 plate appearances. That's definitely not 1 game. So I'm assuming 4 and 4. So in 2 games, he's hit safely in both games. Numbers versus righties on the year, Tatis has an above 300 batting average. Strikeouts are a little high. Walk rate's a little low. However, with the high strikeouts come high power. 10 homers, 9 doubles, 1 triple. That's 20 extra base hits and 38 singles. Righty versus righty matchup. On the season, Nelson is allowing a 409 batting average, 1 homer, 3 doubles, 3 triples, 9 doubles, and 25 singles. Not giving up a ton of power. However, we don't know who's on base when this happens. Just because he's not giving up a ton of power doesn't mean he's not allowing a ton of RBIs. A 409 batting average is not good. Not good. So let's look at that. Let's look at the odds here. So when we look at the odds to get 2 hits, they're not in favor. So that's 1 hit. However, he is projected for 3 hits, runs, and RBIs. The odds don't favor that, but the projections do. That's 1 single. That's 3. An RBI is 2, so that's 5. He scores a run. There is 2 more. That's 7. So where are the other 2 points coming from? He doesn't get 2 hits very often. Okay. Yes, he's done it in 3 games, and that average looks good because of those games. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games, he has not gotten you 2 hits. So where that can come from is a double. If he gets you a double instead of a single, that's 9 fantasy points. That's possible. Obviously, anything more than a double gets it done. If he hits a home run, 300 plus 300 odds to go over. Those are not bad odds. Stolen base upside, it's not really there on the year. Only 4 stolen bases. You know what? God damn it. We were looking at his numbers at home. I was looking at that and thinking that's a little low for Tatis. He's really not getting that many hits. Okay, here we go. Scratch what I just said. My bad. Hits. Yes, he's getting a lot of hits. He's getting over 2 hits per game altogether. But at home, and this game is being played at home, that is accurate. So what we looked at before, is actually accurate, but it only gives you 1/2 of his production on the year. Being that this game is played at home, this is relevant, but also he's done that. So pick your poison. You're going with this or you're going with what he's done at home. It's all baked in. It would really help if he could steal a base for you, because that's a 5-point bonus right there. Yeah, I mean, he's gonna have to get this done. He's gonna have to score multiple runs. If he's getting on base only one time, he can only score 1 run. Well, actually, if he drew a walk, and he can score a run that way. The problem is he's not really drawing a lot of walks if he got hit by a pitch. So yeah, there's that. I know it's hard to see this and say, damn, he's not going to get you 2 or more hits. But the odds don't really like the over on his hits. So what we built out was at 7 fantasy points today, with a single, a run scored, and him driving in an RBI. He would have to he'd have to draw a walk, get hit by a pitch, or hit an extra base hit. He needs a double or more, and I think if he gets a double or more, he crushes this line. 3 doubles in his last 10 games, home runs 2. It's hard. It's impossible for him to go over with one single, a run scored, and that's not going to do it. It's just not enough points. So he definitely needs more. We're just not getting the support to go over that. If you want to play the momentum card, because he's kind of on a streak right now, you can, for sure. Last 15 games this season, this gives you a better idea. There's over 30 games, right? So over his last 30 games this year, he has gone over 2 hits in 9 of 30 games. So this is what I'm saying. Like, there are more games in there where he gives you under 2 than over. This makes it look like his guy can't do anything wrong. And then when you look at the overall season, it doesn't look the same. So last 5 games, last 30 games, or first 30 games. It's a lot of time we spent on Fernando Tatis. I did not intend to look at his fantasy score. It's hard to figure out when I look at fantasy scores, especially if I see a book taking the over on something. If I can't figure it out, or if I don't really see a path to it, I just stay away from it. I can't tell you how many fantasy scores I've stayed away from because the math doesn't add up. The odds don't have them going over certain lines, but they have them going over fantasy. That's mathematically impossible. You can't get, you can't only be projected for a single, but you're going to go over total bases. That doesn't make sense. So moving on to Yordan Alvarez. If we look at his hits, runs, and RBIs today, minus 135 to go over. My God. 6, 4, and 7. So this is the good Yordan Alvarez. Last 15 have been strong too. I mean, I know the percentage isn't there, but damn, this is powerful stuff. 30 games into the year, you're seeing more green than red. Again, the percentages aren't eye-popping, but when he's going over, he's going way over. This is one of those lines where if you like the over on hits, runs, and RBIs, you probably want to look to a few of his lines, maybe his fantasy score, maybe his total bases, maybe a home run prop for him. Because when he's crushing hard. And it's not like a single and a fucking walk. He's going over by a lot. So he might be one of those all or nothing guys, you know. Take multiple overs on his props because when he hits everything. And when he doesn't, he doesn't. That's the way it is. You're getting really good odds on his hits, runs, and RBIs on 2 books. Also getting good projections. He's projected for a single, a run, an RBI, and a walk. So fantasy points, 2, 4, 6, 9. That's 9 fantasy points right there. So you can look at the over on fantasy. You can look at the over on hits, runs, and RBIs. Total bases. I don't know about total bases. I would say fantasy hits, runs, and RBIs are your probably safest 2. Then if you want to get a little risky with it, you can go with a home run. He is getting plus 270 to go over. Numbers against Tyler Anderson are pretty damn good. In 13 plate appearances, 2 singles, a double, a home run, and 2 RBIs. So a home run gets it done on all levels. He goes over everything with a home run today. He goes over total bases. He goes over hits, runs, and RBIs. He goes over fantasy score. He goes over home run. Yeah. Let's look at Alec Bregman. Not bad odds. I mean, these aren't great, but plus 500. We've seen home run props at fucking plus 1200 and stuff like that. I don't know. 2 home runs in his last 5 games. Obviously, a home run gets it done today. This is fantastic. 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. He is projected to go over. He's going to get you a single. And he's not projected to do a whole lot. But let's... So he's projected to go over hits, runs, and RBIs with minus 120. But he's not getting the best odds for a single. He's not getting good odds for RBI, and he's not getting good odds for the run. But here he's getting good odds for the over. So that's a little confusing. This is really difficult to ignore. His numbers against Tyler Anderson are also really good in terms of power and extra base hits. Who else on the Astros? So Altuve, Bregman, Yordan, the top 3 in this order have hit Anderson pretty well. With Yordan, the only one giving you, 39% strikeout rate. That's bad. Bregman and Altuve doing a fairly good job of drawing walks. If they get on base and Yordan can knock them in, I mean, Yordan goes over everything in his first bat. You get a run. You get a run scored for Bregman. You get a run scored for Altuve. If they get on with a hit, they go over that. Yeah, there's a lot to like here in this lineup versus Anderson. So those 2 look fine to me. Obviously, the best one is Yordan because he just has better support and he's just a better hitter, better player than Bregman. All right, last one is Joey Ortiz. Who the fuck does he play for? Milwaukee. All these damn new names. They sound like fucking Disney Channel sitcom characters and shit. Joey Ortiz. Yeah, man, me and Blake and Bryce, we were all hanging out at the park yesterday, man, and Joey came around. Fucking teenage sitcom. These damn names. So minus 135 to go over. Hits, runs, and RBIs. 2 out of his last 5. 10 hits, runs, and RBIs. The average looks great because he's getting you 2 in each game, but it's basically because of these 2 games. He is projected for 1.6, so that is over. 2 books like the over on it as well. Trying to piece it together. There's his hits. And what else is he going to do? He's going to draw a walk. but runs and RBIs aren't really popping. So trying to figure out where the other RR is going to come from. No numbers against Casey Mize. Numbers against right-handed pitching on the year, 325, 4 homers, 9 doubles. So 15 extra base hits, 22 singles against righties. And then Mize versus right-handed bats. Mize is getting lit up, man. 357 batting average, 3 homers, 6 doubles, 1 triple, 31 singles. Mize is getting lit up. This whole lineup hits righties really well. 1, 2, 3, 4 batters in here with above 300. You got Adames in there at 260. Perkins in there at 285. The strikeouts are there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 batters in there with 20% or more. So strikeouts are there. But with Peralta on the other side, oof, this could be a game where it's really hard for the Tigers to put up runs. And then you got Peralta out there pitching with a lead. This could be a game maybe to look at Peralta numbers, or just go all in on the Brewers. You got your ace pitcher on the mound, basically, and you got a pitcher on the other side who's given up tons of production and not projected to strike out very many batters. So even with the Brewers coming in at that above 20% whiff rate to righties, he's still not projected to give you a whole lot. He may not even be in. Yeah, I was going to say, may not be in there that long, but he has gone 6 innings. Projected to give up 2.5, 3 earned runs, basically. Yeah, the Joey Ortiz one makes sense. You can also look to, I guess, a few other Brewers if you want to build a little stack against Casey Mize. All right. Ortiz makes sense. Bregman makes sense. Jordan got taken off the board. Unfortunately, not able to play him unless I just didn't put him on the board. He's yeah, so I would honestly play his fantasy score. They are making you take the over on his demon now. I would take the over on fantasy score. That's my favorite out of all these. And then it just basically comes down to, do you think he can hit a home run? Because if he hits a home run, he goes over total bases. He goes over hits, runs, and RBIs. He gets you the RBI. So he goes over a lot with a home run. But now that the hits, runs, and RBIs got took off the board, I think his fantasy score is firmly in play. So this makes sense to me. Bregman makes sense to me. Gausman, the matchup is really good. And then Tatis, I can't figure out how he gets a hitter fantasy score done. Based off the projections and the odds, I can't figure it out, but he's definitely on a roll. So if you want to take advantage of this hot streak he's on, it makes sense. Boom. All right. See, Jonas says Tatis is a fair assessment. Volpe over his runs cashed for me yesterday, but that dude took until the 11th inning to get the. Oh, those are the worst. You just give up on it, and then you go back and look at your slips, and you're like, "Oh, they hit? Oh, cool. Yeah, those sucks." That was a really weird game in terms of the final score. 2-1. I mean, it was scoreless until the 11th inning, right? I mean, two of the best offenses in the major leagues, but the pitching was on point. Pitcher by committee for the Yankees. I mean, they ran 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys out there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 strikeouts. So they averaged less than 1 strikeout per inning. Yamamoto, 7 innings pitched, 7 strikeouts, 2 hits, 2 walks. That guy pitched a gem. Sucks that they they won. So I don't know if he didn't get the credit for that win though. Who got the credit for that win? Johan Ramirez got credit for that win probably. That sucks. Yeah, those payouts sometimes are a little frustrating. All right. Man, I like that Yordan. Can you play Yordan and Bregman in the same lineup? I mean, you can, but will it nerf? Man, Altuve, I don't know if he's hurt or what. It's funny to see a strikeout prop for him. I mean, over the course of his career, he's been one of the most steady, reliable hitters in the major leagues. And this year, he has been whiffing hard. So to see a strikeout prop for him that's crazy to me. I'm probably going to stay away from Altuve, to be honest with you. Four straight games for Andrew Vaughn going to over. Two books under on his hits, runs, and RBIs. But he's projected for basically 1 hits, and that's it. He's averaging basically 2 hits in his last 5. 4 singles, 2 doubles, no triples, 2 home runs, 5 Ks. He's doing a little bit of everything. I mean, based off his last 5, the hits, runs, and RBIs look pretty good. 0 for 3 against Bayo. Numbers against righties on the year. Power is there. Average is not. So is he striking out a lot? Yeah. Usually when you see the power up and the average down, there's a good amount of strikeouts. 27% whiff rate to right-handed pitchers. Doesn't really matter when you're hitting for power and you're hitting for extra base hits. So strikeouts, like Joey Gallo type shit, you probably don't want your average plummeting to the depths of Joey Gallo and Kyle Schwarber, but the power's there. I wish we had more data points on this one. Not too many books taking action on that, but 2 books. Yeah, that one looks good on paper. I wonder if if we do this one and so it's not nerfing the flex, but it is nerfing the power play. Is it? To go Jordan, Bregman, Ortiz, Contreras in the same lineup. Yeah, that's a shitty payout. 7x. It's not even worth it, to be honest. So this is what happens when you try to do too much correlation. PrizePicks will let you know by not paying you any money when you build these slips. At least there's being upfront with you, you know. If we added a 6 pick in there, this goes to a 6 pick. So 21x. I mean, no, we got to take somebody out. Fucking Nat. We got to take somebody out. This thing is all in my space. No boundary. I'm just trying to find a play that I put in my picks. Damn, out of these 4, I'm gonna take Bregman out. I'm gonna see if that changes anything. From a 5, it's still a 9x, but I bet you if we go with a 6 pick, it does balance out. I bet you gets us 25x now. Yeah, so Thomas under, Castellanos under total bases, Albies over. We still got a decent correlation. I think Ortiz is batting towards the bottom of the lineup, so there's not like a direct correlation in terms of Contreras can drive him in. But basically, I guess what you're hoping for is this team gets cooking against Casey Mize, and the whole lineup is cooking. So they may not help each other out, but if they're hitting them up, you would expect, you know, the majority of those batters in that lineup to do some damage. Or you can just take one of these guys out and put Jordan and Bregman and see if that changes anything. I like this though. I like the over on Alvarez, the over on Ortiz, the over on Contreras. We're gonna go over on Albies, under on Thomas. We're gonna go under on Castellanos, and we'll put that in there for a 6 pick. And we'll cash out. And that's how we end it. Appreciate y'all being here on the stream. No stream tomorrow. Actually, yeah, we might. Game 2. Game 2 tomorrow. What time is game 2 tomorrow? $7. Probably do a quick stream tomorrow. Like definitely under an hour stream. I can't be on stream too long tomorrow. But for game 2 of the finals, we should do a stream. So yeah, I'll throw it up on the schedule. Make sure your notifications are on so that way we can all be here tomorrow and we'll break down some NBA player props. We'll try to make it an exclusive NBA stream and we'll just talk about the finals. But I'm sure we'll throw some MLB in there tomorrow, whatever. But we'll try to make it more NBA centric, being that it's game 2 of the finals. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate y'all being here. Appreciate y'all being here on a Saturday morning. Hope everybody's day goes well. I hope that your slips hit, as we always talk about here on the channel. As we get some lag going on. Don't forget about the Kyrie Irving promo on BETR. If you're not signed up on BETR, if you don't play on BETR, scan that QR code, sign up, $250 match on your first time deposit, but play that Kyrie Irving promo. It's pretty much a lock. And let's cash out today. Let's make it 4 straight days. Let's make it 4 straight profitable days in the Discord, 4 straight profitable days on the month. And I will see everybody tomorrow afternoon. I think afternoon, 12 noon, something like that. We'll put that up. And we'll see everybody tomorrow. Hope all your player props respect the damn coin. And until tomorrow's live stream, Chavez is out.